Confidence intervals are built with margin of error, so let's go ahead and work all these problems at the same time. So the first question is they want a margin of error for a 90% confidence interval. So the margin of error formula is plus or minus the Z star is the critical value to the corresponding level of confidence. Now let's go ahead and get the data out of there. The mean from this problem is 8.2. The Z star is 1.645. Let's go ahead and double check that in our Z table. Where to find out where these critical values are is you go to the table, T table. You go all the way down to the infinity degrees of freedom row, and the 90% confidence level is right here. So at 90% confidence, you take it all the way down to the Z level, and it's 1.645. Remember, if your sample size is 30 or less, you're supposed to use a t-test. If it's greater than 30, then you can go ahead and use a z-test. But that's our critical value number. Standard deviation, sample size. Let's go ahead and plug in the values. Do a little bit of math. And that's going to be our margin of error. So let's go ahead and do the next problem. Remember, a confidence interval is just the mean plus or minus the margin of error. So we already did most of the work. So it's the mean, 8.2, plus or minus the margin of error for a 90% confidence level. And what that means is a 90% confidence level means that 90% of the time, if you repeated this experiment under the same conditions over and over again, then 90% of the time, the mean from these different samples should fall within this range. Now let's do the last one. It changed levels of confidence on us, but that should not be a problem. Start with the confidence interval formula again. The data is going to stay the same except for one thing. That's the Z star, the critical value. And 99% is 2.576. But all the rest of the data is relatively the same. So let's go ahead and plug in the values. And our margin of error, we're going to get a 0.309 this time. So there's a confidence interval for a 99% level of confidence. That's all there is to it. Let's double check in Excel just to be on the safe side. Please hold. In Excel, go to the function bar. We're going to check for the 90% confidence interval first. Make sure you use statistical. Go down to confidence. And for a 90% level of confidence, that's going to give you an alpha of 1 minus 90%, 10%, or 0.1. Standard deviation is 1.2. And the sample size here is 100. Click OK. So 90% margin of error is correct. Let's change this to the 99%. Just change the alpha in there. Click OK. Again, we get 0.309 for a 99% CI. That is good enough for me. MGZ, out.